Hey, my name is Dr. Brendan McCarthy. I am the Chief Medical Officer of Protea Medical Center. I am also the founder of the practice. I began this practice in 2003. I began the practice just by myself. It was just me in a small room with a small waiting room. And the waiting room was furnished with my own living room furniture. My wife came home one day and she's like, "Where's the couch? Where's the coffee table? Where are the tables? Where is everything?" And I had furnished my office with things from my apartment. So it was really humble. The practice just started with me. And the goal was to be good at this. As the practice grew and I added staff to that, the goal of adding staff was always to improve the delivery of care to patients, always. That was always my goal. I like to think that I have never been that doctor who's focused on numbers, on running enough people through a room. I never thought of that. I've never thought about how many patients I could see in a day. It was always, how effective can I be in that moment? It's always been my drive to deliver care, not just in the moment of discovering the cause of someone's disorder and why they came to see me, because that is a very rewarding thing. That's like dessert in a way in medicine. When you're the physician and you have someone come in and it's a complex case and you figure out what it is finally for them. You're able to finally pinpoint what it was that's been just causing their lives not to be whole. It's such a great moment as a physician. I love that. I still do to this day. I love having a new patient come in and I love working with them and figuring them out. I love that moment of clarity and understanding with them. And I love the impact it has on them, feeling finally understood. I love seeing when a patient feels seen. That's a driver for me as well, but that can't be the only driver. I learned this early on, is that it doesn't matter how smart you are in the moment of figuring out the cause of the disorder in the person in front of you. That's not really the important part. Or it is important, but it's not as important as how effectively and efficiently and reliably can I deliver care to this person. This is the most important part. Because if I could figure out, so say the patient presents to clinic with chronic anxiety to the point where she barely could drive her car. And she's looking at her life like, how can I keep moving forward? And she goes to a regular doctor and there's no real care. She doesn't feel that they're helping her. They've written her maybe, I don't know, benzo of like Xanax or Valium or whatever it is they were doing. Nowadays, they're just doing mostly SSRIs in those cases. But she doesn't feel seen or understood. And then she comes into my clinic. And I sit here and I run labs. And I explain, this is why you have anxiety. This is what it is. And this is what we could do to stop you from anxiety. First of all, every time she went to her other doctors, no one ever ran labs to try and figure out biologically why she had anxiety. Not even once. Not even once. Maybe she'll have the doctor say, you should consider therapy, which is a valid thing to consider when we have anxiety. Always valid. But in a lot of ways, when they do that, it's dismissing you. I know that. But as I was saying, so many people will go to their doctors with a condition and they don't feel like the doctor tried understanding why and getting behind it. They just either said, go see a therapist in the case of anxiety, or they just write them a prescription off the cuff and send them on their way. So when they come to my clinic and I sit down and I understand them and I seek to, let me say it that way, I seek to understand them. That right there, patients are like, what is this? What is this? What is this that you are doing here? It's medicine, actually. Surprise, this is how medicine is supposed to be practiced. And when we find that thing that's going on with them and we find the cause, we can show them on paper, objectively, why they're having these symptoms and explain it to them in a way that they understand. That's beautiful. But what if I'm able to explain it, show them and say, this is how we fix it, but then I can't deliver that care to them in a reliable way? Say I don't schedule the follow-ups efficiently or correctly, or I don't run the follow-up lab work, or I don't maintain the prescription, or the prescription is not being filled by the pharmacy, or any number of reasons that they now start to feel like this person understands me, but they can't quite give me care. It's like, here's the solution, but I can't quite get it. That is actually more important as a doctor. The long-term care and management of you, the long-term care and understanding of you, and delivering that care in a way that you can rely on is actually the most important part of the job to me, because I understand it now. And it's been years watching this and kind of observing, like, where am I falling short? Where could I do this better? Owning a business is a challenge. It is such a challenge, but it is also an opportunity. And I always saw this practice as an opportunity to become a better person for me, a better doctor, a better boss, just better. And it has not failed me in that. And I like to think that all these years of practicing, I have become better at the delivery, more reliable with the delivery, more caring with the delivery. It's always been our priority and our goal. It always will be. So that's why when you're a patient of my practice, with any of the physicians that work at Protea, any of them, we all feel the same way. Your care, long-term management, your follow-ups, your ability to rely on us to be there is critical to us. Patients of my practice know that they can reach out to us, and they have a patient care coordinator assigned to them who's going to be able to help them navigate through things just in case an appointment got missed, just in case they weren't able to refill their prescription on time. They know there's someone in our office that could be just texted right away, and that person will get on it for them. And if that person's out for the day or they're on vacation or whatever, there's someone who's going to back it up for them, who's going to be able to follow through and follow up with you as well. Patients at Protea Medical Center also know that if something doesn't work out and something does fall through the cracks, that we are accountable. And it's not one of those like, you guys are awful, you did this wrong. It's more like, hey, this went wrong here. And we want to hear that because we are dedicated to caring for you. That's why we're here, So that, I think, is an important part of being a patient at Protea is the knowing that we are dedicated not just to getting you in the door to be our patient and dedicated to understanding you at those initial first visits, but we remain dedicated to you. It doesn't get old. I still see my first patient. The very first patient I ever saw, I still do. And we run labs every 6 months to a year. And we look for changes in her health. We make sure that her cholesterol is staying stable and correct. That's never been an issue with her. Never. That doesn't mean I'm not watching it. I watch for inflammation. I watch her blood sugar, make sure it's not coming up. I watch for now the signs of osteoporosis because it's been a while. We've been working together long enough, so we should be watching for these things. So when she sees me for her thyroid, I'm also that doctor that's looking at everything about her because I'm going to see her for the rest of my career, and I plan on having a very long career. And I want to make sure that 20 years from now, I did my due diligence. In other words, in 20 years, I can look at this case and say, over the course of this life with this person, these 40 plus years that I've been seeing this woman, that I have been caring. And I've seen her every time, every lab review, every moment, as the full, whole human being she is. So I wanted to share that with you because that is one of the driving components of the practice. That's one of the areas of the practice that I will always keep working to develop and get better because I don't think it's ever perfect. There's always opportunity to be better at it. And as a patient of the practice, please know that you are a critical part of it. If something isn't right or you see something that we could do even better, we want to know. We want to know. We're not here for us. We're not here for us. We're here for you. And by being there for you and that service that we provide, the reward is profound on our part. In order to, having a person for all these years working with them and seeing them maintain their health, there's a real reward in that for us, because we know that we're taking good care of a person, and there's benefit in that. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you around the clinic.